Good evening, and welcome to Beacon Space. Tonight, I'm your anchor, Xavier Stortis, along with my co-host, Lupus Kalbrek.
Good evening.
And tonight, our top stories.
We'll be taking a look at the latest tourism initiative from the Aguamala Syndicate. Their expansion and rebranding campaign continues as this fresh wave of exploratory zeal carries ships across the stars. However, some outside detractors also note the significant military buildup of the Syndicate. Their newest warships are coming out of space dock this month.
We will also have a well-interested video report from Trey Gran, consulting reporter with the Children of the Vein. Polling of Talesian colonists and citizens is reported at an all-time high. Clearly, our generous system hosts are doing an excellent job.
Indeed, and we may indeed have a medical emergency spreading through the sector core. A wave of newly identified pathology uglitis is spreading, especially among older teens and young adults. If you feel any of the following symptoms: self-doubt, insecurity, anxiety, specific financial distress, political frustration, social media addiction, an enhanced enjoyment of snack food, and/or not being sure of your place in the world, please seek treatment with your nearest Children of the Vein gene writer at the earliest opportunity. There may still be time for you to purchase vital genetic upgrades.
The assembled Commonwealth continues to be beset by turmoil as their internal civil war resolves. Despite the lingering tension, the mechanisms of their organization, vital to interstellar trade, are operating as expected. They have recently completed several major infrastructure projects, opening a new major spaceport, and making significant progress in their overhaul of Corritas infrastructure. It is this station's understanding that previously restricted dark pool slush funds have been diverted into planetary improvement initiatives across the Commonwealth.
The Amelhart Institute is hosting the latest rounds of intersectional talks on economic theory. Angel investors, business moguls, and sector-known technocrats have been attending the advanced station and learning about newly discovered algorithmic trading opportunities. While this station is not a financial advisor, taking a look into the industries the Amelhart AlgoCon supports is normally a good indicator of market success. We wish you luck in your investments. Capital is at risk, returns not guaranteed.
Though I will say, buy ticker BBTV, it's going to light speed.
Always buy BBTV.
And last but not least, before we head into the main part of our show, update your maps. The Independent Commission for the Registering and Identification of Orbital Bodies has confirmed the latest round of intergalactic developments. Former Planet L is El Arpon, and the former Planet A has been renamed to Saranin, inside the system now called Gateway. Among notable failed attempts, the monarchist support group did not succeed in their continued petitions to have Idarast renamed to Monarch's World.
And that's it for our top stories, but stick around to find out more details.
Silent Night Cargo Concerns. We invite travelers to the sector of the brilliant world of Telos. Be it for business or pleasure, Silent Night provides swift and secure transit for visitors of the Center system. Cutting through the red tape, our dedicated teams will make sure your passes and permits are squared away so that you don't have to mess with the hassle of bureaucracy in your travel plans. Our services go beyond simply for your person. As our name implies, we handle a wide range of cargo concerns, be it a porter service that can get your holiday bags straight to your hotel room, to providing storage facilities, or even negotiating bulk goods through local customs. We've got you covered. Through our affiliates in Falufo Kaliki, we offer half-hourly shuttle services from the bountiful TTGI station to the planet's many floating cities. Safe and reliable service is vital to the health of our clients, and that is why the security travelers and their cargo is our top priority in the void space of the Center system. Call now to ask about our Guardian Protection Package. Thank you to Silent Night Cargo Concerns for sponsoring today's episode of BBTV. As always, we appreciate all the businesses that sponsor us here and always endeavor to not have it impact our reporting.
No political biases will be found here on this broadcast, although we clearly do believe some governments are more valid than their equal other, also valid governments.
I mean, of course, it would be interesting to be reporting on the most recent travel and security integrations that have beset many citizens of the center's system. Say, Helbrook, have you noticed any impact from this increase in security?
Well, I had to not only obtain a new passport, but a passport, and then verification of my passport, and then I got a new microchip. That was great. I mean, it was deep in the thigh. That was a thick needle, but obviously everyone go and get it. It's vital.
Yes, of course, vital security upgrades, and make sure your firmware on all of your cyberware implants is up to date as well. With that, though, I think we can move on to our first report from an external collaborator this show, and let's take this moment to hear from Trey Grin and their reporting in coordination with the Children of the Vein.
Yes, let's.
This report has been made possible by the New Eden Gene Bank. Be a better you. Visit your local branch for a consultation.
Hello, Beacon Space. This is Trey Grin, filling in for Chaz, who forgot his travel permits. Here with the latest from around the sector. In the news this cycle, travel permits, new worlds discovered, and more news on the Calvert Killer. Before we begin our report today, we here at BBTV would like to remind our viewers that the center system is controlled void space of the Children of the Vein. Travel permits are required for entry. Violators may be subject to fines, legal action, and use of force. Contact your local Children of the Vein embassy for details. Now for our first story, an exploratory mission funded by the Vein of Many Eyes to System 1103 has successfully rediscovered 2 habitable worlds orbiting the sector's yellow dwarf star. The first planet, currently under exploratory designation code CA, was found to be inhabited by a native population of large sapient reptilians with an incredibly long lifespan of 400 years. The second world, Planet CB, is host to a seemingly advanced civilization of robots numbering in the billions. Though resources appear scarce on this world after the recent explosive growth of this robotic industrial society. According to reports, the resource scarcity of Planet CB has resulted in a strained trade relationship with the resource-rich people of Planet CA, with deciphered historical records suggesting a past solar conflict between these two civilizations in which the machine civilization acted as the failed aggressor. The political strife between these two worlds has left the people of the system cautious and embittered, but the threat of this machine menace remains. In another exciting development in the frontier worlds of Sector North, the Vein of Subtle Service has announced the establishment of the Exodus Missionary Center on Planet BA. From previous exploratory records, the residents of Planet BA appear to rely on crude cybernetics to survive in the environment's inert atmosphere, though this has developed into a culture that prizes cybernetic integration as a sign of personal accomplishment and cultural status through a system of merit in which cultural achievements in the arts grant legal permission to become further cybernetically enhanced, leading to a class divide where the social elites of this world are almost entirely machine. The Exodus Missionary Center, or EMC, is led by Orator Bishop Serene Lake of the Vein of Subtle Service, with the goal of providing biological alternatives to the cybernetic enhancements prevalent on the world. The establishment of the EMC initially resulted in widespread political unrest on the world. However, tensions calmed during a public concert held by the Exodus Missionary Center, in which Orator Bishop Lake reportedly performed a moving song in tribute to the class struggles of the planet's people. As of the time of our reporting, the Exodus Center has pledged to continue its operations despite local political tensions. It's an interesting thing to see a conflict fought by song instead of bombs, but now I really want to get my hands on a recording of that performance. Lastly, an update on the Calvert Killer story. Following the last attack, the Tellus governing office declared that the apprehension of the suspect would become top priority of the Bureau of Elite Enforcement and Safety, or BEES. BEES. In response, the BEES mobilized Team Mason to take control of the operation. From what information we could gather, the mysterious Masons appeared to be a specialized bleed tactical response unit with support and backing from the secretive vein of blue blood. I wish we had more, but as the investigation is ongoing, no information has been released. We are keeping a very close eye on this case, and we'll update you as soon as we can. And that concludes our sector report for this cycle. The sector just keeps getting bigger and weirder. This has been Trey Graham, blipping out.
Say, Lupus, have you been visited by any member of the Bees specialty team in recent times?
I will say that I fully support and will cooperate with all inquiries made by the Vein of Blue Blood, whom is doing great work in the sector despite the blue curtain of necessary information and investigation, which it's quite frustrating to try and delve into what information exactly they have. But needless to say, I will never not be interested in not then negatively cooperating with forming the investigation sometime around 2 weeks ago.
Of course. We'll continue to keep all investigative reporters into this vein of the blue blood.
While we're on this topic, I just want to highlight that hey, we've got a pretty picture to show you instead.
Yeah, I think you're right. In fact, we have a new poster that's been released by the Agumala Syndicate.
Yeah, El Arpon. Yeah, but bring up the poster.
There we go. It is scrolling on screen now. Pretty pictures are always a great distraction from unfortunate news, aren't they?
I never said distraction. However, yes, we do have another broadcast from the Agumala Syndicate. Their continued expansion, as was mentioned in the header. They are continuing to improve planets around the sector and are becoming quite the force for the tourism industry, with, of course, the famous No Way Like Gome campaign, winner of several advertising awards. And now Visit El Arpon, We Have It All is their latest installment in this advertising campaign. You can see the beautiful vista of a star rising above a temperate red forest, perhaps some iron content in the atmosphere. Take a breather. And take a breather. There you go, there's another slogan for El Arpon. Recently renamed, those of you who have not updated your maps may know it as Planet L, although, as we said in the header, again, please update your system information. I would encourage everybody to take a look at the Agumala Syndicate's tourism initiative, take a look at the various planets that are on offer, and see if any appeal to you. Spending helps the economy. Consume, consume, consume.
Of course. Tell me, Lupus, which of the planets brought about by the tourism agency would you be most interested in traveling to? Is it this new El Arpon, or perhaps it is the forever classic of Go?
I am happy to go to any planet that has pretty loose rules when it comes to extradition.
Of course. That's always a great accommodating feature to be looking for when traveling to new planets. Good news is most of the newly discovered planets have yet to establish governmental agencies with such extradition treaties in place with other major power political factors in the sector, so you should be safe just about anywhere. You will need some travel permits, though, to get out of the center system, but maybe you could contact today's sponsor of Silent Night, Cargo Concerns, to get that accomplished.
Well, I definitely have some concerns about my cargo.
Couldn't have said it better myself. With that, though, we thank the Agumala Syndicate and the Tourism Board, of course, for their contribution to today's broadcast. And up next, we turn to the world of the assembled Commonwealth, where, as mentioned, their civil war that didn't turn out into outright violence has begun to resolve itself in hopefully amicable ways. There's still some brooding tension, but hopefully it will all resolve out in the next little bit. Today we have an announcement of, I believe, a new ship of theirs that has recently been sent out of space dock. Let's take a listen into their reporting.
CNV, Pride of Ida to Vulcan Control, preparing to commence undocking procedure. How copy? Vulcan Control to CNV, Pride of Ida. Reading you loud and clear. Commence undocking at your discretion. All hands to docking stations. Repeat, all hands to docking stations. Reactor startup initiated. Airlocks sealed. Release crew standing by. All systems are green. Department heads reporting in. Decks A through J secure. Decks K through S secure. Scaffold control standby. Beginning maneuver thrust. All tethers are released. Pride of Ida has cleared the scaffold. We are away. Repeat, we are away.
And congratulations to the assembled Commonwealth for their latest ship deployment, the Pride of Ada. What you just heard is a transcript and audio recording of the undocking procedures as it was taken out of its space dock.
It is quite a magnificent move. It is technologically advanced. It truly does go to show the capabilities of the assembled Commonwealth, and it was quite the sight, the televised announcement. I don't know about you, but I was holding my breath listening to those launches, because it can go wrong. You never know what might happen.
Absolutely, there's thousands of things that need to go right for every space undocking, and well, it's glad to know that everything went well for the Pride of Ada. Hopefully we'll be seeing it perform a tour of the sector, and so all citizens will be able to take a look at the Commonwealth's newest ship.
Yes, analysts are predicting that it will have a very positive effect on trade shipping, especially regarding sector piracy, as the publicized launch of a new flagship, a new defender of the innocent, will of course strike fear into the hearts of perfidious pirates.
Of course, I've even heard the Pride of Ada is capable of doing on-site repairs of other ships of the fleet, which seems to be quite a step forward in mobile repair capabilities for any spaceship within the sector. Most larger repairs always necessitated coming back to a space dock, but it looks like this, the Pride of Ada, brings the space dock to the ships. With that, we'd like to thank the Commonwealth for contributing this video to our broadcast today. And one final faction we'd like to consider here is I would like to go ahead and show off this Tahora Faiz Explore Tellus with Silence Night Cargo Concerns poster that they shared, that was originally just shared in the Propaganda Network? Yes, was shared in the Propaganda Network. The advertisement at the open of today's show was based around this this poster, but I wanted to make sure that it got an appropriate display as well, given that it was the foundation for that video. So thanks to the Tahora Fai for putting together this poster, and in course, interesting company with the Silent Night cargo concerns. I'm sure the BBTV will be contacting them to ensure the utmost security of our vital cargo.
Absolutely. It has become mildly more inconvenient to ship goods between TTGI Station and Tellus. However, the increased security, speed, and quality of shipping, reducing all of those run-of-the-mill, individualized freelancers and putting it all into the hands of a safe and well-known organization such as The Horrify, of course, is a positive step forward to the development of our sector's capital.
Absolutely, not any problems there. Moving on, we are continuing to hear rumors of some strange events that have been occurring on the sector frontier worlds. Newly discovered worlds have seen an increase of weird metal debris being left behind on planets, as well as an increase of reports of what appear to be debris fields from leftover firefights in sectors past, and the spaceship markings and iconography don't match up with any known previous sector factions or even entities that may have existed prior to the event colloquially known as the glitch. Given this weird and strange discovery, it does have several security agencies on high alert, as well as many investigative agencies trying to drill down to the root of this problem. Hopefully more reporting will be available in the coming months on this topic, and there's hopefully no concern to worry about, but at this time it is a strange occurrence for ships roaming around through space.
Indeed, if you find samples of this metallic fragments, we encourage you to send it to the Research Institute on Icaros, and also with the Amelhart Institute, both of which have the spectrographic machines necessary to do detailed analysis on this phenomenon. If any and all assistance is appreciated, there are rewards for significant finds.
Of course, and please make sure the BBTV is copied on all correspondence so we can be sure to report the news as soon as it happens. Speaking of reporting news live, we have a new episode of People of Beacon Space available, where we'll be interviewing Oscar Mariana, the new CEO and owner-operator of Isolight Freight. Let's take a listen in to that interview.
This week on People of Beacon Space, I'm chatting with Oscar Mariana, the new owner and operator of Isolight Freight, one of Sector North's most esteemed space trucker unions. Oscar recently led Isolight through a Gamma funding round, securing 1 trillion Isolight icons in funding, and secured majority ownership of the company himself.
And our next funding round is right around the corner for those looking to invest their money in a fast-growing trucker union.
Now, Oscar, I appreciate your enthusiasm for Isolight, but we are here to talk about you today. You grew up on 08110 Lidro system on the planet of Malaka and always wanted to explore the stars. Purchased your first spacecraft at the age of 15 after finding yourself in charge of a local logistics company. How driving of an experience was that for you?
I can see BBTV folk don't skimp on the research. Listen, when you're young and full of vinegar and something else, you think flying's gonna be fun and adventure and excitement, but then you buy yourself a hauler, you set out for the stars, and you realize you're still stuck behind a whole mess of electronics and ablative plates.
I see. Well, the skills you learned have to be transferable into space shipping business. What changes do you plan to make an Isolight fleet to continue the rapid growth?
Well, I plan to expand our fleet of ships and operators by bringing more independent operators into the field fold. We're better together, or Isolight is anyway. Our freighters have also uncovered a new piece of technology recently, which should enable rapid construction of future Isolight ships.
A new technology rediscovered? How exciting. Can you tell us anything more about it?
Well, It's a company secret, and I really shouldn't be saying much about it, but we believe we'll be able to double the current size of our fleet in only 1 year. That's growth on an unprecedented scale.
Well, that's all exciting nonetheless, and it also explains why you've been fundraising so much in the past few months. Over that time, what's the best story you have for how your management style has improved things for your employees?
Well, we don't have employees, only indies. Independent workers, you see. Everyone's got a contract they follow, but can set their own schedule and everything. I think the biggest improvement I've been able to push out is
I'm sorry, Oscar. I think that's about all we have time for today on People of Beacon Space. Thank you so much for joining our program today. It's been a blast to have you on. And of course, if you're interested in investing into Isolight Freight with your Isolight icons, you're more than welcome to reach out to Isolight for that agreement. Of course, all of us here at BBTV, thank you so much for continuing to watch People of Beacon Space, and hopefully next month we'll be back with another installment of the not quite monthly show. Thanks so much for joining us today. I've been Xavier Stordes. Now back to Xavier Stordes and Lupus Kalbrick in the studio.
Thanks, past Xavier, for the throw. And yes, interviewing Oscar was a great experience. There's a full interview available in our behind the scenes access panel, which of course you can subscribe to for only 100 Isolight icons a month.
Or if you have a smart TV, press the red button now.
Absolutely. It will be interesting to see what new technology the Isolight Freight Company has found, and hopefully we'll be able to follow up on that topic and many more over the next coming months.
An upstanding member of our transport and shipping community among many organizations that exist within Beacon Space, but Isolight Freight is making a name for themselves above and beyond the others.
Absolutely a great standout in the Space Truckers Union groups. Now, I believe Lupus, as one final bit of news we have this month, is an update on these rumored free agents and the stories told beneath the veil, so to speak.
Yes, indeed. Those who operate in the shadow and the darkness, those who operate within the Penumbra. If you wish to play as a character inside the world of Beacon Space, which is the setting which all of these reports have come from today, if you want to operate in the morally grey shadows in between these giant political organizations, well, you can. Free Agents is a Cypher System RPG set within the criminal underworld of Beacon Space. You can play a sneaky thief, a deadly assassin, an elite hacker, mercenary muscle, a curious little robot, or a master of the mystic arts, and anything else you can think of. It's West March's style. You can drop in and drop out, so feel free, make a character, and you can participate in as many or as few game sessions as you want. Making a character is simple and easy. If this appeals to you, feel free to get in touch with myself or any of the mod team on the Discord server, and we'll get you set up to be able to join a game.
It's certainly one of the brillest things you can do in Beacon Space. I'm way too excited to have managed to work that in. Just so we're all clear, I was trying the entire show to come up with the time to work in the slang of Brill from Beacon Space. Took me until then. Well, and of course, I think there were some recent sessions that involved exploring wave space, which was a very cool integration of the background internet, basically, for the sector.
Indeed, like all cyberpunk settings, we have our netrunners, our deckers, our cyberspace experts, or our wave space experts, as it may be in Beacon Space. And anyone who is interested in joining, for the next little bit, we will be doing missions in and around the world of Heliocytus, the homeworld of the Children of the Vein, who we have heard a little bit from today. The enigmatic gene wrights and bioengineers. They have a lot of competing veins and guilds and elements at play. and everyone has things that they are doing on the down low. So if you want to help them do that or stop them do that, feel free to make a character and hop into some of our games.
And maybe you too will get to ride the wave space of Beacon Space.
Indeed.
With that, though, any other news to share for the audience today, Lupus?
That's it from me.
I think I'm out of news this month as well. Feel free to join us next week back here on the broadcast, where we'll have Faction Turn 22. Can you imagine we're getting ready to do 22 of these things? Insane.
I'm feeling 22.
Well, we'll be back. We'll get to wrap up, see what actions our factions take, and see what things change within the world over the next coming turns. It'll be an interesting space, and I'm always interested in the cool stories told across Beacon Space. Thanks for joining us today on Beacon Space Today. I've been Xavier Stortes.
I've been Lupus Calbright.
Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with some chill tunes for the next few minutes as we fade off into wave space ourselves here. Have a great day, everybody.
And good night.